Welcome to the Just Being Frank Show, the realest sports talk show on YouTube, giving fans a real-life perspective on sports and entertainment.
You knew better, you do better, who do it better? CC for you, CC to me two, yeah, two. Let's get it. Caitlin's coming for you. What's with all the hype? Is it all because she white? Caitlin's coming for you. Nah, she a dog, she can ball like she might. Caitlin's coming for you. Soaring through the sky, it's a Hawkeye legend. Caitlin's coming for you. Now the fever on fire, Wnba jam. Fast break, she on the move. Go hard, win or lose. Dog on the court, but show charm in an interview. Even though they all hating, even though it's all Caitlyn. Sorry, bust your balls, but this year gonna be hard breaking. MVP, bad dad, logo 3-step bags. No look past, catch that. Nike couldn't check that. So check that, hating at the door. We in year 2 with the bacon if she the GOAT. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Rumble CC like Muhammad Ali. Shake the haters off like John the Liquidator. They games premature, should be baller than incubators. Keep putting ink to paper, keep signing for meals. If they try to lock you out, they'll be shining your wheels. Working at a car wash, cause most of them all wash. Claiming they the reason that most of us all watch.
Not just because of one person, it's because of me too.
What's with all the hype? Is it all because she white? Caitlin's coming for you. Nah, she a dog, she can ball like she might. Caitlin's coming for you. Soaring through the sky, it's a Hawkeye legend. Caitlin's coming for you. Now the fever on fire, Wnba jam. Look up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Nah, that's Angel Reese dropping turds on the game. Not working on the game, not deserving of the fame. Missing wide open lays like she played with a broken wing. Seemed hopeless, mainly Celeste couldn't fix it. We scream groupies, bang, that bang getting ridiculous. Tried to poke the bear, but we laughing cause she ticklish. Can't see me no man, CC, shoot it from a distance. Shoot it with persistence, do it so consistently. 6 overall with the vision. See, still receive hate so persistently. Microwave their game, cook their game in an instant. Pinpoint pretty passes, do it with precision. And you can't see the difference, you tripping. Caitlyn is the type that can lift all boats, but poke holes and it's all she wrote. We want all the smoke. Caitlin's coming for you. What's with all the hype? Is it all because she white? Caitlin's coming for you. Nah, she a dog, she can ball like she might. Caitlin's coming for you. Soaring through the sky, it's a Hawkeye legend. Caitlin's coming for you. Now the fever on fire, Wnba jam. Get top of the morning, afternoon, night, depending on where you at. It's the Pope, your host to do the most. Welcome to Just Being Frank Show. Hit the like button, subscribe up to the channel. Shout out to everybody that's already in the building. Early this morning, Brett says there was probably lots of cackling involved. We're gonna get into Skamala Harris sits down with Phee about her scams. I call Kamala Harris Skamala Harris. She tried to scam the nation. Yeah, she did. She tried to scam the nation, to damn the nation, and now she finds herself in a situation with Phee going on her little crying wolf rant, right? And really exposing herself even further. So we're going to take a deep dive into that. Lexi Brown also spoke out about the physicality of the league. What you see right here is Wnba or whatever, Chene Wnba. Yeah, her talking about the physicality of the league and how the league has always prided themselves on the physicalities of the league. So in this episode here, we're going to break down how it was all good just a week ago. It was all good just a week ago, right? In this instance, a year ago, because nobody in years prior before that, right? Nobody had nothing to say about the physicality of the league. They cherished the physicality of the league. And as long as it wasn't to the point where they was getting the Caitlin Clark treatment, right? they was getting that Caitlin Clark treatment. So what I'm about to do, man, I'm gonna play a video, or this clip, I should say. I couldn't really find a Lexi Brown one, so we might have to go on over to Keep Divisions. Shout out to Keep Division. He reported on this. I just seen his video on it earlier today. And so we'll go over there because I couldn't find it on Twitter. I couldn't find it. If you know the link, send it to me. Even if you got the link of the Kamala Harris and the Festa Collier. If you got the link to the full interview, send it to me, please. Email it to me, popefrank23@gmail.com. Email it to me. And even if you got the clip of Lexi Brown talking about the physicality of the league and how they was all cool with it until not too long ago. All right, let's get into this one right here. And let's see what this broad talking about.
So this is my State of the Union WNBA edition. Let's start with the play. For those who may be new to this, the WNBA has always been a physical league, full of competitive fire and trash talk. And on the full sequence of that play, Caitlin was talking. And in this league, no one backs down to trash talk. Now, I have played with Kennedy Carter, and her choice to retaliate on a non-basketball play was literally foul and something that she has struggled with her entire career. That was not okay. But one player's approach is not indicative of an entire league. All rookies, especially number one picks, I know what it's like, have been tested mentally, physically, emotionally, from Candace Parker to Sabrina Ionescu to Kelsey Plum to Skylar Diggins-Smith. And a few days ago, Alyssa Thomas was just ejected for a hard play on Angel Reese. Plays like this happen in sports, but now it's being used to further agendas that don't serve the game. So when it comes to women's athletes, there's this expectation that players in the heat of the game should constantly stop what they're doing and be appreciative of Caitlin. They should bow down instead of being the competitors that they are. These women are elite basketball players who are competitors, who show up and show out every night. Before the eyes were there on the game, we all know and we appreciate the unparalleled amount of growth and attention that
I hear that, right? Before the eyes. What she said, I'm gonna break it down, but I'm gonna go right back to that just a little bit. Before the eyes was on us, before we became relevant, before anybody was paying attention, we was beat the shit out of each other. It was basket boxing, not basketball. It was basket boxing. That's what the WNBA is. It's basket boxing. All right, let it finish.
Before the eyes were there on the game, we all know and we appreciate the unparalleled amount of growth and attention that Caitlin, I'm her biggest fan, is driving to help become the beacon of so much interest and engagement and viewership.
She's such a phony. I'm her biggest fan.
To this game. But that narrative, that actually does a disservice to her, because the ones who grind through that type of grind become beasts. This is not hate. This is hoops, like any other sport that is professional at the highest level. And I hope people truly get to understand that. So this is my State of the Union.
All right. Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that bogus baloney, right? Y'all remember this, right? I know everybody kind of remember this. Shout out to AB Burrow in the building, Michael Miller, courtside in the building. Shout out to all of y'all in the building, man. It just came in. Y'all remember this, right? Let's see. Let me get down here. That's hazing. Hazing is illegal. It's hard to listen to this delusional woman, Pope. They are not elite. Laughing my ass off. What's good, Pope? Hi from Florida here for CC Coco Ben. Shout out to you. Burrow says Wnba is standing hiding her Johnson. Oh, shit. All right. So, again, what she was going on this whole rant was really saying, okay, yeah, Trinity Carter took a cheap shot, but the league is physical, and Caitlin got to live up to this. This ain't college no more. This is what she was really saying to you. It's not college no more. Now that Caitlin is in the league and she's getting roughed house a little bit, y'all whining and complaining. But we've been doing this before the eyes got here. Not with on Trinity Carter's level. That was dirty. But we've been rough housing. Basket boxing. We've been basket boxing. right? And so, like, don't start complaining now that Caitlyn is here about us basket boxing. Okay, that's what she was saying on that. All right, just in case y'all didn't really catch and understand why I was playing that. Now, again, I'm looking for the Lexi Brown joint. I'm looking for that joint before I pull up the Skamala Harris. Skamala Harris. All right, before we pull that up and Phee, because it's only shorts. I can only find shorts or just that little clip. I wanna get the whole shit. Maybe I need to look for it on Twitter. But have y'all seen the whole clip? Anybody out there, let me know. Have you seen the whole clip? Or the whole video, I should say, and not just the clip. And where did you see it? Kamala Harris sits down with Nefesi. Because I have not seen it. It should be a full video out. But I want to get to the Lexi Brown situation first. Yeah, these are all just that little clip. I guess that's all we really need, I guess. But I would have liked to see how this was all set up, why it was set up. Let me look. One sec. All right, AB, appreciate it. CT22 was getting assaulted on a regular. All right, so now let's go pull up my boy. Keep the vision. I was just checking that out and the things that she had to say. Hold on one sec. All right, here we go. I found it. Hold on. Get rid of this real quick. Seeing Caitlin Clark at the Indiana Colts game, even though she's a Chiefs fan, she didn't want to put that jersey on. I thought that was funny. All right, let's go. I found it. We got it here. Let's bring this on up. All right, let's check it out. Let's hear what she got to say.
All of a sudden, like this over physical, crazy basketball has become acceptable in the W. Like, it was cool, like, last year at the beginning when people were like, I mean, it wasn't cool last year because we know what the narrative last year was about the physicality of the league.
Yeah. It was, you heard what she said at first. Oh, it was cool last year. It was cool last year. Why was it cool last year, y'all? Because Caitlin Clark was the only one that it was happening to. There was like, at one point in time, there was 7 flagrant fouls during the season. 5 of them was on Caitlin Clark. It was cool last year. She said it herself, and then she caught herself and tried to clean it up. Oh, it was cool last year. Well, I guess it wasn't cool because of the narrative. She's talking about us. She's talking about us people calling the WNBA out for targeting and sabotaging Caitlin Clark. I told you last video, all you have to do is let these people talk, and they tell on themselves every single time. I'm going to play it back. Let's listen to it in full.
All of a sudden, like this over physical, crazy basketball has become acceptable in the W. Like, it was cool, like, last year at the beginning when people were like, I mean, it wasn't cool last year because we know what the narrative last year was about the physicality of the league. But I thought it also was a good thing to see like how physical the W really is and how it's just such a major leap from college to pros. But I think it's like gotten a little bit out of hand. And I think that's
wait. Why has it gotten out of hand, Lexi?
Wait. Let me go back. Hold on. Let me go back. Wait. What did she just say?
And how it's just such a major leap from college to pros. But I think it's like gotten a little bit out of hand.
Wait, go back a little more.
It was cool, like last year at the beginning when people were like, I mean, it wasn't cool last year because we know what the narrative last year was about the physicality of the league. But I thought it also was a good thing to see like how physical the W really is and how it's just such a major leap from college to
how physical the W really is.
again, just to have the way she even framing it, you don't go in. Again, when you going from college to the pros or high school to the pros, when it comes to the NBA sense, like a Kobe Bryant and so many others, right? It's not about that's not the first thing something that comes out people's mouths. Is oh, are you physical enough? No, do you got the talent? Are you talented enough? It's not about the physicality. Okay, yeah, because again, even these cats that come in at 19 years old, they're not all the way really ready in the NBA. They're not all the way really ready for going up against grown men's strength. They don't have grown men's strength yet at 19 years old, 20 years old when they come into the league. Some come in as crazy specimens like a LeBron James, and then you have a lot that come in like a LaMelo Ball, a Tyson Chandler, who's skinny as all outdoors, and they cannot out physical a lot of the players, grown ass men in the league. What they can do is outsmart them, be more talented than them. In a sense, their talent is going to have to make up for the lack of their physical selves at that time, because they're not all the way full grown man strength yet. But they still are expected to produce and perform. When you go into the NFL as a quarterback, running back, it's not about, oh, they hitting much, much harder. No, they smarter, they're faster. You got a whole bunch of top of the line athletes. You're going against the best of the best, not the strongest of the strongest. You don't talk about how, oh, it's so strong over here. We're super strong. Like, that's all y'all can predicate your games on. Is that we'll run you over around here. We run into each other. Oh, it's so physical. We run into each other off screens. We get right back up. We clothesline each other. We get right back up. And let me tell y'all why they probably prided themselves on the league being physical. Because on the flip side, the NBA side, a lot of people were starting to talk about how it's so soft. How it's so soft that people are afraid to be aggressive the way they used to be back in the days. It's a 3-point contest. Nobody want to go to the hole and challenge anybody at the rim no more, even though you got so many crazy athletes that's jumping out the gym. Don't nobody want to dunk on nobody no more. Everybody want to get to the hole and kick it out to somebody at the three. It's the 3-point contest. So in that sense, it's soft. Not the men in the league are not physical, or they no, they just play with soft mentalities. And the rules are set for them to where it's like, what is this? So I think they pride themselves that, oh, well, hey, we're not soft. We're not soft. We're actually physical. We're physical, right? And that's the problem. This is basket boxing. This isn't shout out to AW. But yeah, that's what I said in the beginning. This is basket boxing. This ain't basketball. This is basket boxing. I see Courtside, the only one picked up on that, because you're the only one commented on the basket boxing. But that's what I'm saying. They was all good just a week ago. They prided themselves on the basket boxing, right? They prided themselves on that, on the physicality of the league, because the NBA is considered to be a soft league, and we hard over here though. And so these are the resorts. But let's get back into this video.
To pros, but I think it's like gotten a little bit out of hand. And I think that's
wait. Why has it gotten out of hand, Lexi?
Yeah, why? Tristan?
Let's talk. You said it was cool to show how much physical the W was, the leap from the W to from college to the W in physicality. We know it was only about Caitlin Clark. We know that.
And think about that too. Look how dumb that even is. Just hear me out right here. I'm done. The leap from college to the WNBA because of the physicality. Like, who believes y'all be in the weight room getting your buff on? Y'all don't be in the weight room getting your buff on like that. Stop it. Or y'all would have crazy death. Y'all doing lightweights. Y'all doing a little baby 10 pounders, right? Y'all not pumping no iron. So how much more physical are you really getting? I never really heard about a grown women's strength, even though you have that. I'm just saying, from a 22-year-old to a 26-year-old, again, women ain't coming into the league at 18, 19 years old playing against 27, 28, 30-year-olds. In the WNBA, when y'all 30-something, you old. You ain't that physical no more for a woman. Your prime of physicality, of you being the most beastie is around 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. You know, once you get to that 30 range, you probably start losing some of that physicality as a lady, especially if you're not an iron pumper. You ain't pumping iron every day like that. Y'all not really trying to get strong and buff and big. So yeah, Caitlin, she sized up. So she was in the weight room. You seen the difference from her arms. Because she was in the weight room this past off season. Y'all not in the weight room like that. So to act as if the physicality when you get to the WNBA is so much more great. No, it's not about the physicality. It's the fact that y'all allowed to play so dirty, to play basket boxing. You allowed to play basket boxing is the reason why it's different. The game looks different from the college to the WNBA because they calling that bullshit that they not calling in the WNBA. They calling it in college what they letting y'all get away with in the WNBA.
That. We know that, and you said it yourself. Oh, it was cool. Oh, no, actually, it wasn't because of the narrative. No. You was cool with it happening to Caitlin Clark. Why isn't it okay now? Because Caitlin has already been beat to hell and was sitting out? Is it because did it take Cameron Brink getting her nose broken in front of everybody without a foul being called, without a review being happening? Is it because Alyssa Thomas ran through Nafisa Collier's leg and what she fractured her ankle or something?
Fractured ankle. And that's what I'm saying too. People, man, y'all, I wish they understood that too. Like Nafisa Collier, bro, she got her cookies snatched. She got them cooks snatched because she don't know how to dribble. She don't know how to handle the ball. So again, like she running this way and AT is coming across your body. You supposed to, what is it? What is that called? Your instincts, right? As soon as you felt her get too close, your body, you should already been in stop mode. You should have been on stop. I'm going the other way mode. Like if I'm, and again, hold on. Let me get my screen. You should have been in stop mode. If I'm going this way, and the player is trying to cut me off, I'm going around my back on the boy. I'm a stop. You know how in football and whatever you do, hockey, you got to stop on a dime. You got to know that's your athleticism. Can you go full speed one way and stop on the dime? I can. I can stop on the dime, right? So you going full speed this way and she come across, you should be your awareness, your reflexes, your instincts, your vision should have told you, stop, go around the back, and you got her. Again, we have a saying when I grew up, you reach, I teach. I'm going to teach you not to reach. because my handles I got the ball on the string. It's like my yo-yo. It's coming right. It's coming. Pop, pop. It's coming right back. You reach, I'm gonna leave you stuck. Me as a ball handler, I hope you reach. I hope you reach because I know as soon as you reach, that's my out. I'm out. I got you. Because if you don't get it, you're gonna be stuck reaching. And I'm gone. While you reaching, I'm teaching. So she got her cookies. She got that ball poked out. Boop. And then the collide happened. Ball gone. Ball is gone. If she would have did that and didn't get the ball, and the Festi kept holding on to the ball, loose ball, I'm not calling a loose ball foul with 20-some seconds left on the clock and it's a close game. I'm not calling a loose ball foul when it's your fault you lost the ball. It's your fault. It's your coach's fault even more. That's the funniest thing to me. It's your coach's fault even more than your fault. Let that sizzle in your spirit. Your coach shouldn't have never had the power forward who doesn't handle the ball that good, getting a handoff at the top of the key, 30-some foot away from the basket, and she's your power forward that doesn't handle the ball that good. That's number one. That's it right there. That's your fault. Just like in the Super Bowl. In the Super Bowl, when Pete Carroll, when Seahawks was playing against the Patriots, and the Seahawks had the ball on the 1-yard line, and there was only a few seconds left, 15-some seconds left. The Seahawks was only down by, I think, 5, 4, 3, something like that. No, 5 out. It was more than 3. They needed a touchdown to win the game. And instead of running the ball in, Pete Carroll said, wait, they're going to be thinking, everybody going to think we running the ball. So I'm going to try to outsmart Belichick, who was the Patriots coach, and throw the ball on the 1-yard line. And sure enough, the ball got picked off because Bill Belichick had his team ready for that said play. Knew the Seahawks and Pete Carroll liked to run that play on the 1-yard line from time to time. They didn't score during the season, so he already scouted it. So when they seen them in that formation, they already knew what was coming, jumped the route, defender jumped the route, picked the ball off, Patriots win. Now, is that Russell Wilson's fault as the quarterback who threw the interception, or is it Pete Carroll's fault for calling that damn play? Everybody blamed Pete Carroll. Everybody put the onus all on Pete Carroll. Even Marshawn Lynch, the running backs for the Seahawks, he went and laughed in Pete Carroll's face for not giving him the ball and that they had lost the game because of the call that he made. Now, I actually gave Pete Carroll credit because, again, you're facing the best coach of all time, a defensive-minded coach. And listen, ain't no guarantees that even if you hand that football off, that Marshawn Lynch would get in that end zone. And so I understood how Pete Carroll was thinking. But he thought wrong. Wrong call. It happened to be. And it's on him. And everybody knew it. Why don't everybody know that about Cheryl Reeves? Why doesn't it seem like nobody, none of the media, nobody said, well, why did you make the call to have Phee handling the basketball at the top of the key? Maybe if that was Courtney Stud Bud, what is her name? Courtney Wilson? What's Courtney's name? I forget. Who cares? Courtney, why didn't you have her handle the ball at the top of the key? Or the other Stud Muffin, Letitia, you should have had her handle. You don't have a power forward handling the ball at the top of the key, and you're trying to go get a bucket. That's just dumb. That's just a dumb decision, coach. You put your player and your team at risk of what happened. because of that play call. Because it wasn't like you needed an offense. Again, why are you giving her the ball 30 feet away from the basket? She's not Caitlin Clark. She's not going to pull up. She's not dangerous from out there from three. So the play was to give her the handoff, and then she just try to run as fast as she can to the hole. So elementary. Where is the accountability from the coach? And again, what did she go do? The coach went and acted out as if it was the referee's fault. It really wasn't. It really wasn't the referee's fault. All right, but let's bring up this Skamala Harris interview. Nefessa Collier goes and sits down. You don't want to go sit down with Kathy Engelbert, the lady that you need to make a deal with. To the lady you got to make a deal with in order for the league to succeed and continue on, to keep on with this uprise that you have. We about to go deep, ladies and gentlemen. Hit the like button. Oh, excuse me. Hold on a second. All right. We about to go deep, man. Time to get deep. Make sure y'all hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, man. It's the Poe. We finna cook up now. Hold on, did I get a super chat? Let's get the super chat out the way. Shout out to True Stan, says making money and rolling people into IRAs while watching the Poe. Only in America. Man, shout out to you, my guy. I appreciate the super chat. Hey, yeah, listen, ladies and gentlemen, hit the super chat, man. That's how the game go. That's how the show grow and all that good stuff. And it's supporting your boy, man. So make sure we do that too. Hit the like button, hit the super chat, subscribe up. All right, let's see what I got going on here. Close it up. All right. Pope, did you see Adam Silver comments on Kathy? Sure sounds like he is backing her right now. As much as everyone hates Kathy, she has done a good job for the owners. No doubt. I have not seen that, but we're going to bring that up too. I'm going to find that as well. Is it on, where is it at? Where is it? Is it on Twitter? Is it on, where'd you see it at? Is it on YouTube? Where'd you see it at? Because I haven't seen that one yet and haven't read about it yet. I heard about it, but I haven't seen it. Shout out to Phee in the building. She goes to that lady. She goes to that lady that says today could be tomorrow. Tomorrow was yesterday. Yesterday could be today. That's what she did. She went to that lady. That's funny. So yeah, let's get back into it. Was on YouTube. Okay. Smooth. I got Pete in the building. I'm gonna drop the link for Pete courtside if you want to come up, if you're still in the building. You're more than welcome. Fly Hippie, where you at, man? Fly Hippie, I need you to come out, man. We cooked up last time you was up here, man. That was good talks. That was real good talks. I'm looking for Fly Hippie, y'all. So if y'all see him in the chat, let me know. Op Nation for sure, my boy. Where you at? Where you at, Op? We gotta work, Op. Let's get to work. Jerry must be asleep or something. Jerry old as shit. That's my guy. Shout out to OG, triple OG, Jerry B. All right. So now we got shout out to goodness B. And it's the top. All right. So now let's get into this, man. Let's get into this. Nefessa Collier sits down with Skamala Harris. Shout out Rebecca just came in the building as well. Skamala Harris, ladies and gentlemen. Why would she go and do that, but you don't want to sit down with Kathy Engelbert? You want to me, this is so many all kinds of wrong. Skamala Harris, to me, has proven herself to be, what's the word for it? Incompetent, irrelevant, stupid, dumb, a phony, a fake, a snake. Like, come on. A groupie. She even been proven to be a groupie. a terrible DA when she was in Cali, locking everybody up, giving them long sentences even for weed. She was handing brothers long sentences even for weed. Yeah. You go choose to sit down with her. The one who want to keep trans men in women's sports. You want to go sit down with her. The one who want to bring men into your space. The one who want to allow children and fund the government on having children have sex changes. Inmates, convicted felons getting sex changes. The one that's pulling up with abortion clinics, abortion buses to rallies. You want to go sit down with that? That's weird. Why would you want to go? Why? She's down bad. She is down bad. Why are you going to her? I wonder, how did this come about? Did she reach out to you or did you reach out to her? Of course, I say, Pope, let's get everybody on one stream and cook on this stream to everybody channel, all the tubers. Oh, man, listen. Got to reach out. People, only a few they rock out, and that would be smooth. I could see that happening. You already know. But this is crazy. Harris can't help her with basketball. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what was the point of going to what is Camilla Harris? Is she does she have a show or something? Or does she have what's going on? What's the sit down? Is she now what do you call it? A reporter, a journalist? Is she now I don't get it. And I'm not sure though, Rebecca, if she reached out, because again, reach out to Camilla for what, like she's not a spokesperson, or she's not a what do you call, like an Arsenio Hall or a TV host, a Jimmy Kimmel. She don't do none of that. She don't have sit downs with people. She goes on people's platforms to speak and she gets interviewed. That's what I'm looking for. What all of a sudden is Kamala Harris interviewing somebody? I haven't seen her interview nobody. So why does she have a stage to interview Nafessa Collier? For what? See, so this is like, huh? So did you call up? Anyway, that's weird in itself, right? That's confusing. That's confusing to me. How did y'all set this up? This is agendas. This is narratives being pushed. That's what this is. I don't know how they thought that was good luck, but it ain't a good luck. But let's talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. Let me see. Let's bring it up here. Yeah, we're ready. We're ready for it. Let's check out what this girl had to say.
And move the needle in those meetings that we would have with the league, within our league. I never had planned to do that before. I am on the union for our CBA negotiations, like our collective bargaining negotiations.
I never had plans to do that before. What? Okay, I'm gonna let it play. Boy, I can't wait to cook this one, because she sold all kinds of cats. She up here with her boot on and like, oh Lord Jesus, boy, I tell you, these women. Let's go back again. Let's do it. All right, I'm not going to interrupt.
I never had planned to do that before. I am on the union for our CBA negotiations, like our collective bargaining negotiations for our league.
Two people clap. Woo.
And so for so long, I felt like I saw what was going on behind closed doors. For so long, we tried to have these conversations and move the needle in those meetings that we would have with the league, you know, within our leadership. And I saw nothing was changing. You know, coaches, winning and losing alike, were complaining about the same things over and over again, players over and over again, and we weren't seeing a change that our leadership was trying to make. And I think I just got to the point where I was fed up. Yeah. And, you know, you talked about this with me backstage, and it just resonated so much. It's just like, whether I was going to get, you know, annihilated for this, or people were going to support me, I felt what I was doing was right. I felt like it needed to be said. So no matter the consequences, I felt like it was something that needed to be done. I never had planned to do that before. You know, I am on the union for our CBA negotiation.
So why did you do it now after you got your cookie snatched from you, lost? That's when you decided to do it. Thank you for letting us know this. Thank you for telling on yourself. You never thought to complain to Kathy, right? You never was going to say nothing about nothing. You just want to get paid, right? You wasn't going to say nothing about the physicality.
Like our collective bargaining negotiations for our league. And so
again, if you'd appeal, go back. My bad, I interrupted.
Our league negotiations, like our do that before. You know, I am on the union for our CBA negotiations, like our collective bargaining negotiations for our league.
So that don't need to be applauded. Again, okay, so what are you doing sitting down with Kamala Harris and not Kathy Engelberg? That don't look like Kathy, girl. That she's not going to be able to help you do nothing but lose. She's a loser. So you went to a loser because you talking and complaining like a loser. That you really are. You're a fucking loser. You don't have Caitlin Clark and Unrival. Y'all lost out on being able to sign and get Caitlin Clark in your league. You're a loser. Your league was failing. It's been already started out. You already started out losing. Then you lost last year's championship. You lost this year's semifinal. And now you're losing in the CBA negotiation. And Professor, I thought different of you at first, but I knew your looks wasn't fooling me. You're a loser.
And so for so long, I felt like I saw what was going on behind closed doors. For so long, we tried to have these conversations and move the needle in those meetings that we would have with the league, you know, within our leadership. And I saw nothing was changing, you know, coaches winning.
No, hold on. Why you not talking about, hold on. You came out here and said with Kamala Harris, Kathy Engelberg just debunked what you said she said. Why you ain't supposed to speak on that when you're talking about behind the scenes? When did you have this one-on-one with Kathy? Because she obviously didn't text it to you, right? Because you would have probably screenshot that and blasted that all over social media. She obviously didn't text you that Caitlin should be thankful or lucky the WNBA gave her the platform to make $60 million. Which she said, no, I absolutely did not say that. Which shout out to Fly Hippie, he pulled up a clip or something to where she was basically saying something similar, but not that, but something similar. I might want to bring that up too a little bit later because I have thoughts on that. That's a little different from Fly Hippie, but I like where he went with it and it was sketchy. All good. Because again, I don't think Kathy is super innocent in the situation. I just know she ain't super guilty. And I know they all been complicit in this whole shit when it comes to the sabotaging of Caitlin Clark. I'm no idiot to that. But again, I'm no idiot to all of the good shit that she's already been doing. I can look and see she did that. Kathy Engelberg did that, she did that. And it's only 2 years. This league didn't exist 5 years ago. Kathy Engelberg is 2 years in to being a commissioner of a league, professional league. 2 years. The other 4 years that she was there, the league wasn't a professional league. It was no league. It was no league. And even before the 4 years before she got there, they didn't even have a commissioner ever. They never even had one. Because why? It wasn't a professional league. They never needed to pay one. Because it wasn't a professional league in the first place. So the league has only been around 2 years, ladies and gentlemen. 2 years. I don't expect Kathy Engelberg to be able to do everything and switch everything and make it all heaven in 2 years. So that part is where I give her the space to say, okay, but look what you did do. Look what you did from year 1 to year 2. I also know she was complicit in the sabotaging of Caitlin Clark with the schedule that the Indiana Fever had Caitlin Clark's rookie season. I get that. I'm not a Kathy fan, but I do understand what I understand.
Winning and losing alike, we're complaining about the same things over and over again, players over and over again, and we weren't seeing a change that our leadership was trying to make. And I think
no. Again, what do you mean a change? Players over? No, y'all weren't complaining last year. It was only us. It was us. Caitlin Clark fans and Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. We was the only ones really complaining about the physicality of your league, the stupidity of it, right? That y'all prided yourselves on, and we was like, you sound stupid. Lisa Bluter even had to come out and say, that sounds ridiculous. Freedom of movement should be key in this. But you've been begging for a change. Let's go back a little bit.
Over and over again, players over and over again, and we weren't seeing a change that our leadership was trying to make. And I think I just got to the point where I was fed up. And
you wanted to see a change that your leadership wasn't trying to make. All right, let me learn y'all something real quick. I understand it needs to be a change in the refereeing. But if you your game has been played a certain way, and the refs have been calling it a certain way for so long, and they only getting paid, right? They're not the referees the NBA has, right? They're not the professional refs. They're like refs in training. They're training to become D1 college refs and NBA refs. This is their minor leagues, right? So again, first things first. Everybody want money. The players want more money. The owners want to make some more money. And if I'm Kathy Engelbert or the commissioner of a league that don't make no money, and we come across some money, listen, y'all been playing this certain way and getting ref this certain way, and y'all been cool with it. So that's not the first thing I'm looking to change if I'm the commissioner on the whim of, on the fact and the matter of, I have to hire real refs, real professional refs. To change the refereeing, I have to go hire the guys that cost a lot of more money. I got to go hire those guys. Okay? The players want more money. The owners want the money. And you want me to go out and spend this new money we just came up on some new refs. That's what I don't think a lot of people are looking at it like that. If you go and because you can't just train the refs up that's not professional refs yet to be professional all of a sudden, and they start calling the calls right, just like that. No. You have to go get the real referees. Refs that's been around. You got to go hire who the NBA hired, and you should easily be able to do so on the fact that the NBA season is over when the WNBA season is going. And then referees, I'm sure they wouldn't say no to getting the same type of pay that they get in the NBA. And that's what you're going to have to do. Whatever the referees make, let me think. Let's see. How much do NBA refs make a year?
NBA referees' salaries range from about $150,000 to over $550,000 annually. Entry-level referees start around $150,000, while experienced officials can earn over $550,000, with pay increasing based on experience, performance, and assignments to playoff games.
So you start out at 150 to 200, right? Okay. So let's see. How much do WNBA refs get paid a year?
WNBA referees' annual salaries range from roughly $16,000 to $50,000, depending on experience. New referees are around $1,500 per game, while experienced ones can make up to $2,500 per game.
So in order to change the refereeing, they make $16,000 to $50,000 at most in the WNBA. They range from $150,000 to over $500,000 at most in the NBA. So again, you can't just switch out refs, or you just can't train those refs that make $16,000 to $50,000 to ref the game like referees who make $150,000 to $500,000. You can't train them up to do that. You got to go hire those ones that's already making the $250,000 to $500,000, and you got to pay them that. You think the WNBA, who got to deal with these players getting paid, the owners to make some money, sponsors and all of that, you think they're worried about going to right now, like immediate? Yeah, they will now, but that's what it's going to have to take. So people just keep saying, oh, she could have changed the refereeing already. No, the fuck she couldn't. She only been in business for 2 years. This is Kathy Engelbert's second year in WNBA business. Not in business. She's been in business all her life. But in WNBA professional business. 2 years, ladies and gentlemen. None of this shit mattered before. Nothing mattered until the league just started. So last year, we had complaints from us about the refereeing. This year, you had complaints from a lot more people, a lot more fan base, a lot more players, and not just Caitlin Clark and her fans, right? And so, and then you got Nefessa Coley at the end of the year, like full out lying on Kathy Engelbert. I believe she just full blown lied. She told little white lies. And let me tell you how, because it was all calculated. And so now that more than I think about what Fly Hippie pulled up, I think that's what she was really kind of talking about. And she tried to make it seem as if she said something crazy. Like Caitlin Clark should be thinking, like she really said it as if she, like Kathy poked her chest out and was yada, yada, yada. No. Again, I believe Kathy, I got to bring the Fly Hippie shit up now. I got to. Shout out to my guy. Because I thought it was interesting, but that is going to take a little time. But let me go ahead and drop the link, man. See what's up. See what y'all think about these situations. Where I'm at. All right. What's going on? Oh, no, that's not what I'm doing. Again, ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, man. And super chat is open. It'll be much appreciated. Go ahead and hit that so I can go get me another McDonald's coffee. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna get me another McDonald's coffee after I'm done. All right. We got it. Boom. But yeah, let's see. Let's go find the Adam Silver joint. Start sharing that. We'll find Adam Silver defends Kathy. Let's put that in and see if that pull up something. Let's go Fly Hippie. No. Let's see. All right, let's pull it up. Got P in the building. Microphone check. P, can you hear me? Are you in?
Yo, what's up, Pope? How you doing, man?
All right, good. You in. What up, P? All right, hold on one second. Let me pull this up. Adam Silver finally speaks out. Shout out to Fly Hippie, man. Make sure y'all go subscribe if you haven't. I'm pretty sure you already have, but if you haven't, go subscribe to Fly Hippie family. There it is right there. You're 34.4K. He trying to hit 34.5 by the end of the day. Let's get it.
The dispute between players and the WNBA commissioner, Kathy Engelbert, and the CBA negotiations. Let's get into what Adam had to say, man. So he say, I think it's unfortunate, particularly at this moment when, as the league, we love all the attention to be on these incredible finals. We saw 2 fantastic games, and the quality of play on the floor has never been greater. We do need to sit down and negotiate a new collective bargaining agreement with these players. The WNBA is experiencing some growth pains. At the same time, Kathy Engelbert has presided over 6 years of some of the strongest growth we've not only seen in the WNBA, but any sports league in history. Ooh, so he's giving her big props, all right? But let's continue. But it's become too personal, and we're going to have to work through those issues. And of course, I'll be available to help in any way I can. I'm not planning to step in at the moment, but I have strong relationships with many of the constituent groups in the WNBA. They know the main issue here is getting a new collective bargaining agreement done, and then focusing on collectively how we can continue to grow the WNBA along the same trajectory we've seen over the last 6 years. Now, honestly, the biggest problem right now is the relationships, right? It's the relationship.
Again, and it's not supposed to be taking things personal when you're dealing with business. That's business 101. Get your feelings out of business. Get your feelings out of the business, man, when you're trying to get to it. But Adam Silver, again, I know Adam Silver he not making that girl go nowhere, man. She been doing an amazing job in his eyes and a lot of the owners' eyes. Pete, what you think?
What's going on, Pope? First of all, how are you, buddy?
Very good, very good.
Nice to see you, man. Nice to see you. I want to just comment on, you were asking, why sit down with Skamala. It's self-serving on both ends. It's mutually beneficial in their eyes. See, Skamala is making rumblings about running for president again in 2028. She's in denial, and she actually thinks she can win. Okay, she's making the media rounds. You're seeing her a lot more. She disappeared for a long time, including on election night for all of those who voted for her. She wouldn't even come out to concede and say thank you for your support. But let's put that aside. Anyway, she's making rumblings about running in 2028. She's making the media rounds. She was already on The View, and all this other stuff. So clearly she knows that the WNBA is a hot topic right now, so she wants that exposure. Why did Phee interview with her? My theory is that you are about to see this issue become an issue of, and I'm talking the conflict, the CBA, the beef with Engelbert. You're about to see it become an issue of racism and misogyny. Just wait for those words to start popping up, okay? Because now that Adam Silver came out publicly and endorsed Kathy Engelbert's job, the work that she's done in the WNBA, see, they could have targeted Engelbert before and said, this run by men, blah, blah, blah. But now that he spoke out, they have a more clear target, a more clear male target to go after and say, you see, this is part of the patriarchy, blah, blah, blah. Let's be honest. This is what always happens. I mean, the women might get upset that I say this, but what happens when a woman doesn't get what she wants? What's the word that always comes out, Pope? Misogyny.
Oh yeah.
If it's a black woman, racism and misogyny. You know this. Okay? That's what's gonna happen here. Okay? Uh, for all of the Fever fans, CC fans saying, we've been telling you this since last year. Yes, yes, you were. I was one of them. The reason now it's blown up and you see ESPN talking about it and doing a 180 is because now nobody wanted to hear it. You guys are all playing dumb because you're terrified, as usual, to say what the fuck you're thinking. But I don't give a fuck. So here goes. When it was a white face complaining, nobody gave a fuck. It was the league has always been physical. Physicality is a part of the league. Like you said, Pope, y'all want Caitlyn to have an easy route. Y'all want people to just let her score. That was the narrative. You know this. Okay? Y'all want these are competitors. Y'all want CC to just opponents to just let her shoot at will, blah, blah, blah. Now, Phee spoke out. Now it's a blackface. So now all of the black talking heads at ESPN suddenly care. That's not a coincidence, folks. Don't you guys understand? That's not a coincidence, okay? And this will become racial, I promise you. It's going to get uglier than it is right now. This is just the beginning. Because once something gets politicized, then you have intersectionality enter the game. You have virtue signaling. Okay, that's the bottom line. That's what's gonna happen here. So that's why you had the interview between Kamala and Phee. I promise you. Even those of you who heavily dislike me, you're gonna see, and you're gonna say, "Damn, Pete was right," because this is so predictable. This is what's gonna happen. Okay, because I said it when Phee first spoke, Pope, I said, first of all, I believe that what Phee said about, that Kathy said about Caitlyn, only because, see, I said two things. This is a two-headed monster. There are no heroes in this story. The story doesn't need a hero. There can be two villains in a story, okay? Both sides can be unlikable and they can be villains. I said, I totally believe that Kathy would say that about Caitlyn because it aligns perfectly with how she has treated and diminished Caitlyn from day one in the league. And she's even said publicly something that Phee said that she said to her, which was when Kathy said, they were talking to her about Cece and she tried to diminish Cece by basically saying the comment about, thank goodness that the league also gives her a platform to make all these endorsements. She said something to that effect publicly in an interview. So I believe that.
Let me say this. Hold on. Good. I'm glad you brought that up. Let me say this. Because again, if you think about it, this is a woman who's been in business handling multi-billion-dollar company, a CEO of multi-billion-dollar company for 33 years, right? That's how she's supposed to handle the business. She's actually, and when I thought about it, because I was on the same wave that y'all was on, this bitch don't ever give credit. She always talking about it's the rookie class, it's this, it's that, it's the other. That's what she's supposed to do. Honestly, it's not professional for her to be like, yeah, it's Caitlyn. Oh my God, Caitlyn is the whole reason she just saved us. Oh, she's not supposed to say that at all. So she has to go the route of, hold on, but this, and hold on, but that, and hold on, but this. But deep down, obviously, she knows who it's about because she showed that with how she went about everything this year. It was all really circled around Caitlin Clark. It's just Caitlin Clark got hurt. She really put from the preseason game in Iowa. She only did the LSU Angel Reese because she was giving Caitlin Clark Iowa. But her first thought was, we're going to start this show off with a bang. And that was so fucking smart. Listen, that was beyond smart. So when that's credit you got to give her because she did that. Hey, we're going, you know what? Yeah, I got a good idea. Let's get Brazilian because we want to grow the game too. So not only is we going to have a game in Iowa, we're going to bring Brazil over here. Yeah. We got a few Brazilians in our league. Yeah, it's actually one on the team. Perfect, beautiful, smart. She did that. Sold tickets, $600 on average. Smart. She put that around Caitlin Clark. Where the All-Star game should be at, guys? Indiana. Caitlin fucking Clark. Who games? The majority of the games should be on national TV. Caitlin fucking Clark. Hey, Indiana was complaining last year, and the fans and Caitlin Clark was complaining that they didn't get a home game for the playoffs. Guess what? They're gonna get one this year. So behind the scenes, she actually, it's all about Caitlin Clark. On the stage, she tells you it's this, it's that, it's this, it's that, to make it seem like, it's his business.
Can I push back a little when
Of course.
Okay, I just wanted to say you're right. I agree with you in what you just said, that it was smart to give them Iowa for sure and bring in Brazil. That was smart, absolutely. I think the only reason she did it is because she could also give to others. You know, it would have been really smart, or would have been even smarter, since you already put the All-Star game in Indy. I said the moment it was announced that Indy was getting the 2025 All-Star game, I said, they will never do this, but if they really want to grow the game, they will move the All-Star game to Lucas Oil Stadium, which is unaffected by weather. It has a retractable dome, and for sporting events, it holds 70,000 people. Okay, you bring in a banging halftime show, make that shit like the fucking Super Bowl. You bring in a really big star performer, you're going to sell that shit out quickly, and it's going to be the biggest All-Star game in history. It's going to catapult them into the stratosphere, okay? Because if you think about it, the Iowa game was a bang-up game. It was exciting. It was a blowout, but still, people were excited about it. The LSU game was a resounding failure. Let's be honest. It wasn't even sold out. Okay, now the All-Star game would have done numbers. The All-Star game at Lucas Oil
what game
would
was
have
it
sold out.
The All-Star game in Indy?
No, the LSU game that they had with Angel Reese at LSU.
Of course not. What is that? Okay, yeah.
So my point is just, you know what? She'll only, she's not, in my opinion, she's not really about Caitlin. I do agree with you that you can't be glossing, Caitlin, in every interview, blah, blah, blah. But she's taken it to the other extreme. Instead of being neutral, in my opinion, she's taken it to the other extreme where it's become, let's prop everybody else up by diminishing Caitlin. You understand? Rather than uplifting everybody else organically, what she's done is, let's bring everybody to Caitlin's same level by diminishing Caitlin. Okay,
Smart.
Because
smart.
Not in my opinion.
Diminish Caitlin because what I believe she understands is ain't no diminishing Caitlin. That's only gonna fuel the fire even more.
But she's tried it.
Because Caitlin got her shit organically, so she knows this. There was no hype about Caitlin. It was the media overly hyped her, and she really not what she is. She understands Caitlin and her fans ain't no diminishing that. Like, it ain't gonna matter. It doesn't matter what I say about we did this and we did that and this was here. We was headed up this way before Caitlin. None of that shit is not going to affect Caitlin Clark. It's not going to affect Caitlin Clark at all. So she can say that, right? That's smart. And again, already the whole league is against her, and already even herself. I'm talking about the whole league, not just the players, but the whole everything. So again, she's a company woman, so she's playing her shit. She's riding both sides of the fence. I'm not. Don't get it twisted. I understand she's not super innocent, but as more as I think about it, she again, we didn't used to hear David Stern gloss over Michael Jordan. Like, you just put shit in motion. As the commissioner, you don't do that. You're not supposed to be fanboy. Okay, you're not supposed to be fangirl.
True that.
You're supposed to act like you are running the show. Like, yeah, I got this popping and I got this popping. And before Caitlyn
Exactly.
came, I had this popping. Like, so that's cool. All right, smooth. And because you want to say it as if you want to try to promote those other girls because you have to overly hype them. You can't, everything just can't be Caitlyn. So she trying to, hey, not Caitlyn all the way. All right. But she knows, people know, especially people who know business, the sponsors, the so on and so forth, the TV. She knows, everybody knows it's Caitlyn. The numbers shows it's Caitlyn. When they go into that CBA negotiation, they're going to say it's Caitlyn. But when she in front of the mic and talking to the masses, no, she's supposed to promote the WNBA and the other players that ain't getting no shine. Why already shine a light on somebody who light is bright as it gets?
When you say Kathy's been smart, are you including ownership in there too? Because obviously she takes marching orders from the owners. So my question, I just want to know, are you including owners in there too when you say they've been smart? You know, she's been smart. Are you also attributing that to the owners who give her orders? Let me tell you why I ask. Because
okay, you didn't want me to
sure,
answer it. Okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go because I when I'm saying I get playing her smart, the things that she did, I don't think it has anything to do with the owners. When it comes to her speaking, right? Like when it comes to her going engaging with the public, I don't think it has nothing to do with the owners. When it comes to scheduling Caitlin Clark last year, how they did, yeah, I think that's all in together now, and certain things of that nature. But she's the spokeswoman for the league, for the owners, and so she's not supposed to say nothing. That again, like I just went over this and said, what do you agree that she's not supposed to gloss Caitlyn? Would you agree that her being the commissioner of the WNBA?
I told you, I totally agree with that. But remember, I told you she went to the other extreme, and the reason I asked you about the owners is because how smart is it then if we're giving her credit for the things she's allegedly, supposedly done for the league? How smart is it then, after seeing all the outrage in year one, everything that your first true generational superstar in your league's history went through unnecessarily, that instead of cleaning that shit up, okay, after you had a year,
clean up in year two?
Well, not just her. I'm including the owners. I'm including the owners because this comes from ownership, and you've said it, and I've said it, that people blame her too much for the reffing. It's not. She told you publicly, folks. She meets with the owners. The owners decide how the games are going to be called. So my point is, how smart was it then in year two? Instead of cleaning that shit up, you actually ramped it up to mask the fact that you were targeting CC, and the reffing became even more horrendous, and the injuries piled up even more, where your list of injured players looked like the opening scene from Saving Private Ryan. It seemed like half your league was on crutches or in the ICU. So, I mean, how smart was that? In year two, they should have said, you know what? Okay, we got something here. Period. And they didn't. So to me, that's not smart.
How long did it take for them to get it together with Michael Jordan? Did by year two, did they do away with the foul play that was happening in the NBA? No, they didn't. It took a little time. It took a few years for them. Michael Jordan. So again,
was it the same thing?
I want to change. Let me talk.
Was it the whole?
Let me talk. I don't want to be on one mic. I'm talking. It's not the Michael. Listen, see, fuck me up. Okay. Michael Jordan, bro, when he got in the league, it took them a few years to change the rules. But they seen what they had. It was clotheslining each other. They was grabbing on each other. They was doing all of that type of shit. If you not making money in the WNBA and nobody's made no money, again, the business of the WNBA didn't start until 2 years ago, 2 seasons ago. Just started when Caitlyn got there. So all these changes, it's all kind of other changes that need to be made to grow the game too. If I'm a commissioner and an owner, I'm not looking at the first thing to change and put money into it, because y'all keep saying it like you can just change the referees like they draws. No, you got to pay these people. So you got to pay better referees. I mean, you would have to, I just did the breakdown of the difference of the money they make. The WNBA refs compared to the NBA refs. And if you want those type of refs, which that's what it's going to take in order to change. It's not just training them up. You're going to have to go pay the professional refs that's making $150,000 to $500,000 a year. And so why would I want to keep forking out money to a league where it's only one player that's really moving the needle? So when Russell Oliver said, Kathy Dingleberry said you can't build on one player, why not just protect that player? Ain't no fucking protecting no one player. You can try to do all the rules you want to do. ACL can happen off of a bounce. Injuries take place in sports, no matter how clean the referees are. So if I only have one player, it doesn't make sense for me to, let's fork all this money out to the referees when this is how they've been playing. Yes, she gets the short end of the stick when it comes to it. But first, I need to put money towards this. Charter flights. Next, I got to put money towards this, that. Referees will come, but they cost money, ladies and gentlemen. I think y'all thinking they could just swap out refs and keep them at the same price. It won't happen.
Okay. I don't think MJ is the best example. You know why? Because it wasn't the... I'm sorry, can you hear me? I'm not sure if you were finished talking. Okay. You know why I don't think MJ is the best example? Because, yes, it took them a while to adapt and change it for MJ, but MJ wasn't being targeted by the entire league, okay? He was being targeted mainly by one team, which was the Bad Boys, which the NBA actually marketed, okay? They leaned into that shit, but it wasn't the whole league targeting MJ. And MJ got calls and went to the line. Caitlyn gets no calls. I believe Caitlyn would be cooking a lot more on layups, driving to the lane, because I've seen her walk down some of the allegedly best defenders in the WNBA, like Ezzy Magabor, Kalia Copper. She's walked all them hoes down, okay? But she would do it a lot more if she knew. That part I don't blame her for. She would do it a lot more. She would drive to the lane a lot more if she knew that at least she was going to get even half the calls that she should get.
Yeah, listen, again, it doesn't, my point is, you're not changing everything and paying different refs in year two. It's just not that's not even smart. And again, if I'm the owners, and I understand why, I even have to take a step back and understand why that I believe they was ready to get rid of this league before Caitlin Clark got there.
2020, they were scheduled to fold. You're right.
Exactly. So
they were going to fold forever.
They didn't want this league, right? No. They didn't. So when Caitlin Clark came, it's not about, now all of a sudden we still don't want the fuck. That's one player. It's one player.
I do agree with you there.
Okay, so right, I can't run my business just off of the greatest chicken nuggets in the world. I gotta have some more shit to my menu.
Cook, because I'm with you there. I've said it before. Caitlyn is not enough to save the WNBA by herself. I've said it.
So this is why I'm not going to change the refs. This is why I want them to kick her ass in a sense. Because get her the fuck out of here, because we was ready to do away with you hoes in the first place. And she came to save you? No, we're not letting her save you bitches. You bitches is trash. And you've been costing us money for long enough. And no, fuck you. When the CBA come up, we're going to try to negotiate a deal to where you got to wipe your league out, that we know you don't want to, because this is all part of the go along. This is all part of the plan for us to get under you fucks. Hold on, let me land my plane. This is all part of the plan for us to do away with the WNBA, and y'all have Unrivaled. Go to Unrivaled. Go do y'all thing. Good riddance. Our hands are clean. They won't be able to say We didn't try. We tried to expand. This is all a front, smoky mirrors. We tried to expand. Look, we got the team in Golden State. Look, we got the Philly. They ready to go, but we got to do the CBA first. So it can look like they tried their darndest to keep these girls. And now all of this shit, it seems very scripted on the back and forth. Oh, now we're not going to sit down with you and negotiate.
Yeah.
And so they're going to lock the league out. And I think Unrivaled will try to be the new wave as long as they can get Caitlin Clark. They feel great. Caitlin Clark keeps saying, fuck you. I need 5-on-5. I need 5-on-5. They keep thinking, well, if we do 5-on-5, it's going to be the same thing as it's been the last 27 years. No, it's only going to be you they want to watch. And the rest of us is not that good as you. So we have to condense it down to 3-on-3 and just keep the best players in 3-on-3. That's the way they think it. I know that's the way they think it. If it could just be a Phee, a Bree, a Asia, a Kelsey Plum, a Sabrina Ionescu, a Jackie Young, a Chelsea Gray, a you, Camila Cardoso, AB, Kelsey Mitchell, if it could just be us playing against each other, oh, we got a show. And Caitlin's like, yeah, no.
Yo, you know what? You're making sense, but you know what's funny? You know what's funny, Pope? I agree with you that they don't want this league. And you're right. A lot of people don't know it was scheduled to close in 2020, to fold forever. A lot of people don't know that. Mm-hmm. You know what's funny, Pope? You know what's the irony here? The same players who, because you know Unrivaled doesn't have room for the entire WNBA roster. So if there's a lockout, the rest of the players are going to be asked out with no check. And most of them, and it's going to be the ones who cannot afford to not have that check. Okay, but you know what's the irony here? If what you're saying is true on the part of ownership, that they're trying to fuck that, we ain't changing the refs, get this bitch out of here because we ain't trying to have her make waves. The players are, by targeting Caitlin in their hatred, in their racism, in their envy, in their jealousy, they're playing, whether they realize it or not, whether it's intentional or not, they're playing right into the owner's hands if what you're saying is true. Because they're trying, the players themselves also, it's clear, are trying to run Caitlin out. Because some of the flagrant fouls that she has had against her, they haven't been just, let me hurt you fouls, welcome to the WNBA. No. They have been potentially career ending. An eye gouge is an eye gouge is an automatic suspension in the NBA, intentional or not. Okay, Caitlin Clark got eye gouged by Dejanay Carrington, game 1 last year of the playoffs. Not even a regular foul was called, and there was a ref standing about 5 feet away and looking at the play. Okay, so he saw it bird's eye view. And there wasn't even a regular foul call. So yes, that's the irony of it. The players are playing into, if you're right, then the players are playing into the owner's hands by trying to run out Caitlin Clark.
Of course.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens in year 3. But I'll tell you something, and please tell me if you agree or disagree. I don't see the targeting changing or lessening toward Caitlin Clark in year 3.
I ain't no year 3, man. It's just over with. I said that. And look, shout out to me, because I said this shit. I said this shit as soon as Unrivaled was announced. I said the WNBA is going away. That's what this meant. I knew it then. Before I even knew all the other shit, that I didn't even know they was about to have a CBA on top of that they was going to lock out. I didn't even know that. I knew if the WNBA was elected, because again, I just make shit simple. I keep my life simple. If it don't make sense, it's not the truth. And it didn't make sense for the WNBA to allow Bree Stewart and Nefesi Collier to solicit a new league that would rival them while they were playing for the WNBA. If they was against it, the WNBA, they would have fined the shit out of Bree.
They would have gone to court. They would have fucking gone to court, and they would have shut that shit down immediately, and they would have won. And
not only that, right? They would have fined the shit out of them. They probably would have took them off for the PA. to be able
sure.
to even handle the negotiation. So again,
Sure.
this right here tells me all I need to know. I keep it simple. If it don't make sense, it ain't the truth. That didn't make sense. So something ain't going on right. And I said, okay. I knew they was ready to get rid of the league in 2020. They coming with a new league now. And Caitlin Clark ain't signed up for that new league. That's why they didn't announce the players that they already had on board. They just said the top 30 players. I said, oh, so Caitlin turned y'all down. And that's why Ice Cube offered her $5 million and playing a 3-on-3 because he knew in that fucking Final Four, that March Madness, y'all offered her and she turned you fucks down. So he just came out, hey, Caitlin, I got $5 million for you for 2 years. That's why that came out the blue. And so he knew Caitlin turned them down, and they knew Caitlin turned them down. And that's where the hatred from the players started to come about already. And everything all added up for them to be able to go at Caitlin Clark the way they did. Because first, you got the owners of the WNBA who trying to get away from it. And that's why I believe trust me, I believe that's why they never promoted Caitlin Clark in college. That's why they never talked about this phenom freshman who dropped 27, 28 points in her freshman year. That's why they didn't give her the National Player of the Year. That's why all of this shit took place. They kept her underneath the covers so long because they like, if we put her up, especially if she become a superstar in her freshman year, sophomore year, we got to start already preparing for her ass to get here, and we got to start working and acting like we. So now they tried to keep her under the Raptors. Again, it wasn't until she did that historical game against the Monstars in South Carolina, who was undefeated, beating every team by the average of 20 points a game.
Yep.
And it took that for us to be like, whoa, okay, wait a minute. Who is she? And why the fuck don't I know her? And why haven't I been on her? Right? And so to me, that's all been a part of their plan and their program. Even ranking her, I'm going to even take it back as far as high school. Ranking her 5th, 6th in the country, that was a lie.
Yep.
Like, they made sure to keep her under the rafters, bro. That shit's wild to me. And it ain't no getting around it. That's for sure. They made sure to keep that girl down here because she was for sure clearly the number one player in the country over Paige Beckers. She was head and shoulders. It's not even close. It's like she's head and shoulders better than them, right? But yet they had her at 6. They had Angel Reese and Carmela Cardosa and fucking Haley Van Lith ranked in front of Caitlin Clark. That's Wild Bill. That's sabotaging his finest. And she went and played for the FIBA 19 under.
I agree.
Her first year. They had her only playing 6 minutes a night. She was playing behind Haley Van Lith and Paige Buckers and even Celeste Taylor. You can't tell me they ain't been sabotaging this girl since way back when, trying to keep her
with you
underneath.
You're right. You're right. You're absolutely right, man, because, man, Pope, you just cooked. You're absolutely right, because that's why I laugh every time they say the WNBA wasn't ready for Caitlin's motion. Get the fuck out of here. Listen, I've researched Kathy Engelbert a bit, okay? Listen, I'll give her props. She was at Deloitte for 33 years. She was the first U.S. female CEO of a Big Four firm. She's got a heavy background. She's a certified public accountant, okay? She's an expert in business administration. She did a great job. She was a partner at Deloitte. She raised their revenue 30% to like 20 billion. You mean to fucking tell me you didn't see the potential of Caitlin Clark coming? Get the fuck out of here.
Right.
You're right. You sabotaged her. You didn't want it to take off because there's no fucking way with your business background that you didn't see the tsunami that was coming. It's not like Caitlin just like sprouted from some village in Mongolia and nobody had any film on her and we don't know what she can do. You watched her for fucking 4 years in college.
Yeah,
how did you not know?
These, especially nowadays, like in Caitlin's era, AAU is so big, right? And she been playing AAU since a little kid. They do the national rankings at 8 years old, 9U, 10U. Like you can go look and see who's the number 1 ranked 11-year-old right now in the country. You can go look and see who's the number 1 ranked 12-year-old in Iowa right now. Like they have this shit marked for you. It's so heavily sought after. All the AAU tournaments, the big time tournaments I go to, it's college scouts all around. It's shoe companies all around because they sponsoring AAU programs. They with Nike, Under Armour, all of that type of shit. They giving teams and organizations uniforms with their logos on it and bags and all of this shit to put kids in their stuff. So when they get older, when it's time to sign, they so used to wearing a certain brand, it's more easy. Now, can you relate? This guy just says the Pope, I disagree. CC probably wasn't noticed by you, but for some, she was already known and had a fan base way before knocking. She didn't have no fucking fan base. Again, she had an Iowa fan base because people in Iowa knew her. You talking about such a small scale, sir. If you didn't understand what the hell I just said, I don't understand you. Because what do you mean? You say CC probably wasn't noticed by you, but for some, she was already for some. No, Caitlin Clark should have been known by many, by most. It wasn't until the Gamecock game is when the masses knew who she was, not just Iowans. Okay, Caitlin Clark didn't have a large fan base. That's bullshit. I guarantee you, most of the people in this chat didn't know about Caitlin Clark until fucking that game. Most people I talked to or maybe a little bit before that game in March Madness where she was averaging 30-something points, cooking everybody's ass. But for me, yeah, I didn't see her to that game. But that's when everything went big, when everybody, the ESPN started talking about her. That's when the FS1s, that's when the mainstream media started talking about her because that game was that crazy. And it led up to the championship game where that's why you end up having, 19 million showed up to watch it because of what she did in the Gamecocks game. So, yeah. And like I said, Pete, it's all part of the program. That's what I'm saying. Like, Caitlin Clark is just she's too big. She represents good. She does all this stuff, and then she doesn't even want to go along with the pushing no narratives, no agendas. So I understand fully why they don't fuck with her and why they trying to sabotage her. I don't agree with it, of course not. I'm against it all the way, but I do understand the method to the madness of the powers that be in her case. And hopefully, I'm just hoping nothing bad happened to her. I'm just praying they let her live. They let her rock.
I got a question for you, Pope. Just to refresh my memory, because I know you've spoken on this many times. How injured do you think she was this year, and what do you feel about her ankle injury?
Oh no, I don't. I think she capping.
Me too.
I think she's full of shit. Yeah, Kaden lied to us. She ain't nothing wrong with her.
People don't want to believe it, but you know what? I'm gonna tell you something, Pope, and please peep the video when you get a chance. Okay. Her exit interview, for me, she confirmed it. I've been telling people this, and I caught so much heat because I said she never had an ankle bone bruise injury. Okay, because the same day she allegedly suffered it, you cannot walk. It's medically impossible to walk with that injury, especially on day one. It's impossible. Okay, because you risk bone chipping and bleeding. You can't. Anyway, she was at the game. Not only did she attend the game, but she was walking. She stood post-game and pre-game signing autographs for a total of more than an hour and a half. She walked to the game. She stood up and down. She stood up and sat down about 25, 30 times during the game. That would have been medically impossible on the same day. Okay, and that's just on the same day. She did this every other game after that. But when it was announced, they said it was a very mild ankle bone bruise injury because, in my opinion, they wanted plausible deniability in case people like me said, well, wait a minute, I see her walking around. Yeah, we told you it was very mild. Now, Caitlin, in her exit interview, right before she gave the interview, if you remember, a couple of days before, Scott Agnes reported on her ankle injury and said, yeah, that's what kept her out. And then in her exit interview, she says, and I quote, "It was the worst ankle sprain I've ever had." So I ask you, Pope, how can she do everything I just mentioned on the same day of suffering the quote unquote worst ankle sprain I've ever had?
Yeah, yeah, that's Wild Bill. She did. She said
She
worst
lied.
she ever had. She said that.
Yep. She said it. Go watch the exit interview. That for me confirmed it. I said, whoa, what? I had to do a double take. I had to watch it again. That to me, because the worse you make the injury sound, the more clear the lie is because of everything that I saw you doing on the same day.
Honestly, man, with that exit interview, Caitlyn rubbed me the wrong way. I didn't like her vibe. I didn't like what she was saying, how she was saying it. I'm still a Clarkie to heart. As long as she don't get too weird. As long as she don't get too weird, she's starting to get weird, man. And I ain't gonna even hold you. That shit was lame. I don't know. She sounded that. That's I'm like, I don't know what to think when it comes to this girl and like what's happening to her, like what's behind the scenes. Some shit that like don't know. Like I'm wondering what's happening to her. Like one time for a little quick story. I got a cousin. Her name is Trina Barnett. She sings on the song "Where's the Love." If you ever heard "Where's the Love," that's my cousin singing. For the Dead Presidents soundtrack. Y'all ever know the movie Dead Presidents? You ever seen that with
Oh, that's one of my favorite soundtracks ever.
Okay, so "Where's the Love"
That's
was
in
the
my
single
top
to
three,
that.
brother. Oh,
"Where's the Love" is the single to that, right?
Yeah.
And that's my cousin, the female that's singing. That's
Really?
That's my cousin. And she was in talks with LaFace Records, right? And which is Babyface. If people who know Babyface is the singer, old singer, writer. LaFace Records wanted to sign her, and Death Row wanted to sign her, right? And she was going with LaFace. And Death Row, I was a kid. We was living in Fontana, California at the time. And Death Row, somebody from Death Row, I'm outside playing. They came and handed me a note to get it to your peoples and dipped out. I don't know who these men were. And sure enough, it was a threatening note to my cousin that she better sign with Death Row or there'd be some dangerous things could happen to her, which didn't scare us at all and none of my peoples. But so she ended up signing with LaFace and nothing happened to us. But this industry is dirty. Shit. I said all of that to say, like, ain't no telling what's happening to Caitlyn behind the scenes on what kind of threats she could be getting. And I'm not privy to that. I'm not dumb to that. You know what I mean? Like, I know that this shit is real. And so I don't know. Did she sound her voice cracking up like she was crying before, or like she needed to gargle some salt? Like she wasn't upbeat. She wasn't the Caitlyn Clark that was answering the questions the way I'm used to Caitlyn Clark answering questions and like being assertive and sure in herself. So yeah, I didn't like it. I felt like I don't know something going on.
Somebody just in the comments, one of your mods, she asked, why would Caitlyn lie? Pete, Clark wants to play. I don't understand. Rebecca, let me break it down for you like this. If you're an athlete who's injured and you want to play, if you're really injured and you want to play, the last thing you do is travel to, and you have a groin injury and an ankle injury. It's not like you have a broken arm or a sore wrist where it doesn't affect you walking and everything. If you're saying you had the worst ankle sprain in your life and you are trying to get back on the court, the last thing you would be doing is traveling to every game, because I don't care what anybody in the chat says, we've had this argument, getting on a plane is detrimental to most injuries. It causes inflammation, and it can actually cause, just the act of flying can cause re-aggravation of the injury. You certainly won't be kicking soccer balls. Let's say that video was up. Let's give it that. Let's take that out of the equation. Jumping up and down. I saw her jump up and down 3 feet in the air multiple times. You wouldn't be standing and sitting. If you're injured, my point is, if you're an athlete and you're injured and you want to get back on the court to help your team where it matters, not being a hype man on the bench, on the court to winning games, you know what you do in that situation? You stay the fuck home. You rest and heal so that you can get back on the court. Pope, am I right or am I wrong? You're a coach.
For sure. No, yeah, you don't even need to be on the road with us, even if we not flying. You don't even need to be riding the car for that long next to people. May need to be relaxing, leg up, something like that, get a massage or two, Epsom salt baths, all that good stuff. But that's what I'm saying, man.
I mean, people argue with me all season about this.
He's there because she was lying, couldn't speak her true mind. Yeah, I believe she has been restricted and silenced in a way. The way she didn't speak, because I think Caitlin Clark at this point, she would have been happy to speak to her fans if she ain't spoke to us in so long. She had the mic in her face in so long that she would have been, oh, can't wait for my exit interview. I'm going to damn near tell it all. Like, I thought she was going to give us some, but no, she ended up sounding as if she couldn't speak her true mind. And the fact that just on that, her voice sounded the way it did.
Can I float a theory by you when you're done?
Yeah. So yeah, man. Listen, same thing. MK, I've been saying. I watched that girl sign damn near a whole stadium of autographs when she first initially had this growing, and she was out. And I went to the Dallas game, and I watched her go from each corner in the arena and sit there standing, bending. I did a thing. I did a thing to where I was doing this, bending over, doing this, and boy, I did that for about 5 minutes, and my groin and all the shit tightened up. My legs, my inner thighs started tightening up. I said, "Oh yeah, she cold. She did this." I did it for about 5 minutes just to see the feeling in my muscles. And I told people on my show, I said, "Do that for 5 minutes in your living room. Bend over and walk over here and walk over there and walk over, bend over, and see how that feel on your legs." And so yeah, I was like, "Yeah, you can't pee on my leg. Tell me it's raining, man. Something ain't going on right. Something ain't right."
Folks, here's a theory for you. Even if you disagree, you just let it marinate just for a moment, okay? One theory I floated one time on Morning Madness was, what if they came to Cece and said, "Look, man, we love you. We want you here. You had a great rookie season. It cannot be all about you. If we're going to grow this league, which we want to do, we need you to take one for the team and kind of sit out this year. Let everybody else shine. We got Paige coming up. It'll be a great rivalry, you and Paige, because they saw Angel versus Caitlyn. That wasn't it. Okay, so they moved to Juju. Juju got hurt. Then it became Paige again. Okay, what if they told Cece, "We need you to take one for the team and sit out." Okay, we'll say you're injured and you sit out and let everybody else shine. Okay, you'll be, you're very popular. Your fans aren't going anywhere, but we need you to do this for us to help us grow the league. We need to showcase everybody else, because when you're on that court, when you're in the league, it's you. It's only you. So, just take one for the team. Because I'll tell you one thing's for sure, and I don't care what anybody says, she might have, let's say I give her the benefit of the doubt and she was injured. She was not as injured as they said and as injured as you were led to believe. And for all of you out there who would disagree with me, I would ask you a question. Tell me when you saw the Indiana Fever give a true, clear, official statement about Caitlyn's ankle injury. Please tell me. You've heard more about it from Scott Agnes and Chloe Peterson than you have from the team. There's a reason for that.
Right.
What do you think about that, Pope? Do you think it's possible because you say maybe they threatened her? We know how these things work. That's very deep. A lot of people won't get that. I'm not calling anybody dumb, but you know, if you know, you know. Okay? When you get to a certain level, you gotta play ball. I've said it. What if this was playing ball for her, Pope? Do you think it's possible they forced her to sit out and say she was injured? Because again, what I just cited to you, that's all on video. I sent video evidence to Livewire, Courtside, Angry Fan Sports, and KTV. Nobody wanted to touch it.
Dude, that she was complicit in this whole thing. It's starting to look like it.
Of August, I sent videos of August 7th because they said that she suffered that ankle injury, Pope, in an individual workout. Yet the same day, that same night, she attended the Phoenix game. They said that the injury happened in Phoenix in an individual workout. But that same night, she was at the game doing everything you just mentioned also. That's impossible with an ankle bone bruise. And she, in her exit interview, called it an ankle sprain. I mean, people don't want to listen. People are going to want to, they're going to see what they want to see. They're going to hear what they want to hear, because what I've heard the most common reply when I bring this up is, and I say CC Live, oh my God, people get triggered like the zombies in Resident Evil. Okay. CC would never lie to her fans. And I've had to remind people, you know Cece's public persona. You don't know her personally. She already claimed white privilege, okay, and said she wanted to uplift the league. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that she would lie for whatever reason. So that's all I got to say on that. I think her exit interview confirmed for me and vindicated me and confirmed that she lied.
Yeah. I mean, look, man, you all, I mean, you can't sit there and just say not at all. Could that been her sacrifice to this thing and so on and so forth? But I don't know. Again, I think the league is ready to do away with itself. So I don't know if I could go with that theory, just because I think the league is ready to go away, and maybe they didn't want her to break all the records again and so on and so forth. I don't know, man, but for the most part, again, I don't think the WNBA is coming back. I just don't. It's looking more and more like that. It's looking like they ready to go do their unrivaled thing, and Caitlin Clark finna be in the win. What are you gonna do, Caitlin? What, you going overseas? You going to play for France? You going to play for Brazil? What you about to go do? Where is old girl from? Is she from Brazil too? The one who played on, was it the Minnesota Lynx or Storm, Seattle Storm. Gabby Williams. Where's she from?
Gabby Williams. If I'm not mistaken. No, I think Gabby Williams is French or has French blood. I know she played in France. I may be confused, but I think she grew up in France or something. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on
that. Somebody said, Pope, I meant you miss Adam Silver saying a deal will be done. Of course, that's what he's supposed to say. Finalized, that's what he's supposed to say. What he's going to say? It's not going to get done. We're not going to do it. Because I'm like, sometimes we wondering what people think people's in their position. What do you think he's supposed to say, Ayers? We're not going to finalize the deal. It's not looking good. He will tell you, we're done. We're done here.
Imagine, listen, Brazil, Pope, I'll tell you one thing. You mentioned Brazil. Some of the biggest concerts in history have taken place in Brazil. Brazil, I think, would love and embrace Caitlin Clark, just like I think a number of European countries would also. France, Italy, I'm sure a ton of countries would love her. And I don't think she would go through the bullshit, at least to this degree, that she's going through in the WNBA. I think she'd be able to play her game, showcase skills, and I think she could be just as big, if not bigger, a star.
Yeah. Shout out to Music Mindset. Shout out to Retro, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. Tiona. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, man. We're gonna get the stream ended. Make sure y'all hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to Pete too, man, coming through. Appreciate you coming up here. I got some Anton Daniels. For anybody who knows who Anton Daniels is, man, I was on his show last night, after hour with Anton and company, I guess, or whatever. But I'm gonna put the clip of me up there. It was pretty smooth. It was good times. Hopefully, I'll be back over there a couple more times because I like that type of time frame. But yeah, man. Hey, we'll see what's coming. What this all gonna come about, man. Make sure again y'all hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. It's the Poe, man. Peace and love.
Poe, before you go, I don't know if you're thinking about dropping a video on this, but interesting. Aisha Curry's recent comments, about never wanted kids or whatever, just disrespecting Steph again. And maybe PJ Washington, Brittany Renner now asking for $400K a month in support. That's some wild shit, man.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah. That's what, I might go ahead and knock those out, man.
Brittany Renner's down bad. She's down bad.
Yeah, for sure she is. For sure. But all right, man, good talks. Stay tuned. I will be dropping some more videos today, so stay tuned. I don't even know about what exactly. I know I'm gonna drop that Anton Daniels clip, and which it was a good panel last night too, man. It was pretty smooth. So,
I rock with Anton.
You know who Anton Daniels is?
Oh, for sure. I watch Anton. Sometimes I watch Lapeef when the Hyenas ain't on, but I watch Lapeef off the panel he does, the Lapeef Network.
Yeah. We was cooking up last night on Diddy and that situation, and a lot of other things.
Oh man,
stay tuned. I'm about to drop that on my channel right here, right now. So that's gonna be up in the next 30-45 minutes. It was a good combo. All right, y'all. Peace and love. We out.
Thanks for the convo, Pope. Have a wonderful